In the last few videos, we reviewed the workspace of a SaaS engineering team. They had a team of 30 that was spread across engineering, customer support, sales, HR. And then once we reviewed their workspace, we had a list of recommendations. And so we went through and implemented those recommendations together. The next thing that they wanted to do was to have a understanding of how the team was using ClickUp, how the team was actually doing overall team health. So they got together with HR and initially approached me to build a set of reports for them. And while we could start with the reports, the missing layer was to layer in the interpretation of the reports. And so I proposed that we create a super agent. The super agent's job would be to track team health and alert management if anyone needed additional support, if anyone looks like they were falling behind, or if particular projects or teams look like they needed some more support with the ClickUp integration. So what we are going to do in this video is we're going to build this super agent. So what we're going to do is go to AI, and then from here, when you first go to AI, you get the brain, so ask. We're going to go over to agents, and then we're going to create a new agent. There are quite a few starting points. This one don't think fell into any of these. So we're just going to start from scratch. This setup is really quite interesting because you'll put in what it is that you want, and the agent builder will come back and ask you questions. So what we're wanting to do is add some instructions. And so I'm going to start with, I would like a super agent that will monitor team health and alert management via dedicated channel once a week on overall and highlight. So we're going to start here. And then the super agent builder is going to come back and ask some questions. So how should the agent decide that someone needs support? In a previous article, we went through this. We went through all of the health signals. So this is asking for what are the signals you want to look for. So we're going to say the first one is workload. And then we want to say a particular team member is carrying a higher load than the others. We also want to say flow, see where the work is getting stuck. So what we want is the status change history, average time spent in progress, tasks bouncing. multiple times. Next one is stability, and we want to highlight any team where the work is being added mid-sprint for more than 2 sprints in a row. And then engagement and interaction. We want to highlight the individuals or teams whose activity has dropped sharply while open work has stayed the same or increased. Next thing we want to do is highlight where the agent needs to watch. We're going to do it in our development space because I cannot do it live in a live space there. What we're going to also need to define is meaningful change. We'd already set the signals that overdue work is doubling versus the previous 2 to 3 weeks. One person is carrying a 50 to 100% more tasks, active tasks, than any other. We're wanting to define the teams, and then we're going to want to define overloaded. And so the team is the list that we're using. Group by folders, lists they mainly work in. And then these are the thresholds. Now we have our super agent built. We have the full list of instructions, and these are helpful when we want to see all of the instructions that guide our super agent. This is also where we're going to come in to make any changes to those instructions. We're also going to want to keep an eye on those instructions so that we can continue to tweak them as time goes on. So remember, your super agent is not a set it and forget it exercise. It's something that you're going to edit ongoing.